Satnam. So here comes the next chakra. So here we are in our fire element. We are on the third chakra, center of consciousness, Manipura. So this one is at the navel center or the solar plexus area. And it really is wonderful because it helps you to connect to your zest and passion for life, your fire, your capacity to alchemize life, to transmute and also to digest life. So we need to digest a lot, right? We've had to digest a lot. How good are you at this digesting? So yeah, feeling that you can have this digestive fire and this fire in life. And again, it is connected to everything. It's never going to be just about digestion. But this fire element is chanted to the sound of Rang. By the way, if you want this information on my website, kundalinistudio.com.au, I have an ebook on the chakras, and it's a very nice summary that will show you many ways in which you can connect with the chakra centers, but also that you can feel supported, like essential oils, crystals, exercises, affirmations, all this kind of thing. I'm not saying that it is exhaustive, because it's far from it. This topic is huge and it is very personal. So keep that in mind. So not black and white here. I'm very creatively expressing my artistic and individual and yet yogic awareness of the chakra centers. If you resonate, you enjoy it. And if not, that's perfectly fine, because there are many ways to talk about this. So here we are to do with digestion. So of course, symptoms that are linked with this chakra center would be about digestive disorders and anything to do with the upper digestive tract, Crohn's disease, hypertension, hyperglycemia, the list goes on. Eating disorders are often to do with this, which links with chronic fatigue as well. And it would link with adrenal fatigue, because when we can't digest life, it's incredibly stressful and draining. And that draining energy is what the adrenals are usually linked with, and what you will know about. You're just generally zapped, like driving with the handbrake on, holding on too much, can't digest it, waiting for the right time. And often that happens when we're very busy and we think, wow, well, let's just wait a bit, especially as mothers perhaps, and women, when we're juggling a lot, we'll put everyone else first and we go, okay, I can do this. But there will come a time when you do need to get to that, because otherwise you will project that out into your family and friends, and you will get, resentment there too. So the shadow side is anger and blind desire and agitation. Agitation is something I can connect with when I was feeling that I didn't get time to myself, to honor myself more, and I had to sort of really make sure I got it. And I had to kind of say, hey, I really need this. There's this sense of agitation because I needed to recenter and I needed to digest things and I needed to process things. So if you're feeling that, then see if you can go to bed a little earlier and spend time on your own, or get up a bit earlier, or spend your lunch break in a specific way where it's just you sitting in that car under the tree, where you really connect. Because what also happens at this center is that our fears are sitting here, and when the fears are there, which of course we all have fears, because life is always a challenge and the mind is set up to look for problems and to eliminate fears, which is why we see them. And that again is NLP, hypnosis, yoga. It's the whole thing again as one. So what happens is that if we don't feel those gut instincts and feelings, and we don't process, oh wow, I've got this fear, let me feel that, let me breathe with this, which is an emotion, but it's also something that is often in your gut there. And the gut intelligence has been known by the yogis for a long time, that it is a form of intelligence we need to nurture with healthy food. So all this latest stuff on, the bacteria, by the fact that you need a proper, combination to have your brain working properly, ancient history according to the yogis already, like truly, you know, all this microbiome stuff. They talk about in a different way, but they talk about in terms of nutrition and yogic diet, of course, and fasting, which of course now everyone's talking about fasting finally, but this stuff has been around for hundreds and hundreds of years. And I personally love fasting, by the way. I feel like, you know, you really give your body a break to heal itself, and I have cured appendicitis with that in my 20s. And I really love being just a bit hungry and going to bed like that, and having regular fasting days, especially when I'm going through a spiritual shift, or if I feel like I'm getting some sort of a sickness that I might have, God knows what, be feeling or getting from somebody that my body's not going to go through. So fasting is awesome because you're spending a lot of energy on digestion, and when you fast, the body cleanses out and gets to use that energy for healing and integration. So when you have those fears, coming back to that, if you don't sit in them and notice them and let them go and relax your tummy, letting the belly expand on the inhale, contract slowly back on the exhale, and let the belly relax. How many people wear suits and tight clothes and that belly never ever, due to habit, relaxes? So feeling that you can let that go. Put your hands on your belly. Let your belly relax, maybe before you go to sleep. Whatever works for you. So if we don't release those fears, what tends to happen, is that we project the fears forward from the navel center, the power center, the navel center, and then we will see them around us. You know how it is, if you fear something, you do see it everywhere, you suspect it everywhere. It's a really yucky feeling. And most fears, they say up to 80, if not 95% of your fears never, ever, ever come true. And the ones that do, you'll deal with those. So I teach this stuff in my meditation as well on a Thursday in the Burnside Ballroom in Adelaide. And one day I will put some of those out on MP4s or MP3s, or because they are very much a mixture of breathing all this knowledge and doing all these meditations in a chair to empower people on the spot. So when you project those fears forward, you will see them. So it's, if you're really aware, you'll notice, wow, you know, this thing, it keeps coming up. Can I just meet this and relax and notice, why am I attracting this fear? Where inside me do I need to meet this, and what can I learn from this? All our lessons, in my opinion, and from my experience, are here, there's possums outside, are here to take us within. Always, always, always. This is really what I feel. If you don't agree, that's fine. So if there's a fear outside, what can that show you to take you back inside? What is it trying to show you? What are you trying to avoid out there? What are you afraid of that actually is nothing? Like the analogies in yogic terms, you are walking somewhere and you're getting really scared because you think it's a snake, but it's just a rope, you know, and you could go through all of the fear and the panic, and you'd even faint and have a heart attack, but it was really just a rope. And so there are lots of beautiful analogies like that. And so the navel tent is very much around that, and being committed to ourselves, having that commitment to stick to what is important to us, because if we don't, other people can manipulate that a lot, and we need that center. So the first three centers are all about me, we, me, or you, because they're about your existence on the earthly plane. So the first one is the groundedness, base chakra, feeling that you're in the right place, sense of belonging. Second one is your expression, your creativity, your flow, you know, all this kind of stuff that I've discussed. And then the third one is about being committed, having the guts to make things happen, standing up for yourself, having that character to know, and to know how to keep that up, not to let other people weaken that. And so it's a very powerful thing. And often that's why when people don't have that and they don't feel empowered, they get very angry. That's why that's the shadow side. They get really blind desire. Yes, because they're pushed so much that they just want to get control back. Nobody wants to be disempowered. Nobody. So when we talk to people, it's really good to find a way to acknowledge that we don't want to disempower. In fact, we want to empower everyone and let people make their own choices. So yes, reflect on that fire element. It is very potent. And if your fire element has died down, it is right there, always waiting to be rekindled, right? We have breath of fire here, also very powerful. I'm not going to teach that right now because that's not what these YouTubes are about, but I might have a separate one on that. But for now, there is like breath of fire if you want to check it out. And there is just feeling that belly area, real deep, long, deep breathing. Inhale, belly, chest, collarbones, hold. Exhale, collarbones, chest, belly back towards the spine with a focus on the belly. And then again, you would inhale Sat, exhale Nam, Sat, Nam. That means truth is my identity. So it will always focus you on your truth. That's what this mantra is there to support you. It will also help you not to get caught in a mental sway of things, to keep you in a center as much as you can. You may not always remember that, but when you do, it's a very useful tool. Again, also, if you know, we press the tongue to the roof of the mouth so the jaw is relaxed. You want to really keep the lips soft. Firstly, that will keep you looking young and amazing, but most of all, it will make sure that your vagus nerve is doing what it can to keep you in a relaxed state, which means you are in a healing phase of your life rather than the fight or flight, stress, all this stuff. All phases are important, definitely. We need them for survival, but many of us are way too much in the fight or flight, thinking we need to get away from things, making a red light our ultimate, frustration, getting really worked up, shrugging our shoulders up, tensing our lips, clenching the teeth, blocking that vagus nerve. For what? It's really cool if we can realize that most things aren't worth fretting about, and if we relax, life responds in relaxed ways, and all of it, you will literally tune into a different perception because your brain chemistry is changed as well. As you relax and breathe consciously, your brain chemistry changes, and you will start to see more beauty and more of what you love rather than the things that are stressful. And remember, your life is what you focus on, and that's just how it is. If I go in a room and it's dark and I put the flashlight somewhere, that's what I see. That's what I illuminate. That's where that moment of experience is. So, right, where am I shining my torchlight of life, of consciousness? So it's a really good idea to notice what the thoughts are, but this is a totally different topic. I just kind of switched from navel center into thinking, but it goes back to fear and how much you're thinking about things that you're scared of versus how much you're thinking about things that you love and adventures you want to try out, and maybe thinking about the fact that 90% or more of the fears don't come true. Maybe make a list of all your fears and then decide which ones really can you see are a little bit outlandish. Otherwise, you can have sessions, NLP, hypnosis. I'm also a women's coach, and I can help you on Skype or Zoom, and we can just work through that as well and set little practices, and then you can eliminate that. And as your consciousness sees that, it's amazing. Pure seeing, because Kundalini is the yoga of awareness, but life is awareness. Once you see it, it doesn't affect you anymore, and it's a liberation, literally. So yeah, anyway, I honor myself. Feel that. How does that make you feel? I can be powerful. How does that make you feel? Embracing your power. And that means from a grounded way, flowing with your truth, and in connection with, of course, your heart and your soul. Not in a egoic way. There's some ego there always, but I'm talking about this empowerment that you are powerful as a woman. If you're a man, watching it as a man, but I'm focusing on women. So as a woman, do you feel comfortable to be empowered and to be powerful, really? And yeah, because there could be, again, history from your parents, and of course from the history of the female a fear of being too powerful, a fear of being too visible. Again, more fears. A fear of, what if they don't like me? Well, there's a big wide world out there of so many people. And amongst those 8.5 billion people, I'm sure there's plenty that will absolutely adore you and plenty that will think you're crazy. And that's life. And in a way, we're in a perfect position to embrace that, because we're always going to have people that like us and people that just don't. And in a way, that's part of the spiritual acceleration too. So feel confident, let that fire burn within you and ignite it. And if it's too strong and you're running too much with the fire, there are perfect practices to take that ease as well, so that you're not just overly passionate, but you can control that passion more, to actually just hold that back and meditate on it more. And that would be through breathing and through journaling and through directing that energy really specifically. All right, Satnam, I hope you've enjoyed that. Feel free to ask questions. Enjoy your chakras. Enjoy your life as it is in this moment. And I'm here to help you remember who you are, the amazingness that's inside you, to feel excited to discover all of it, and to embrace that, all dimensions. Satnam. Have a beautiful rest of day, evening, morning, night. Satnam.